Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Incentive Concepts Live. My name is Andy Hudson, Director of Marketing for Incentive Concepts. And we are very happy today that you joined us for our live broadcast. We hope you enjoyed as much as we do bringing it to you. And the goal of our live broadcast is to provide a platform for our viewers to learn about our services, our solutions, to meet our value brand partners, to discuss corporate gifts and incentives, and to most importantly, have a little bit of fun. So we hope you'll join us today, have some fun, learn a little bit about us, and we'll see. But before I introduce today's guest, I would like to cover some logistical tips and tricks. You're most likely watching now on the Incentive Concepts website, which is fantastic. But for a better experience, if you click on the Incentive Concepts logo or the name in the YouTube window, it'll take you over to YouTube where you can type in comments, you can interact with other viewers, and that'll be a little bit better experience for all of you. There are several members from the Incentive Concepts team joining us on the broadcast too, so feel free to interact with them. And with that, let's get started. Today's guest is someone I respect and admire greatly, and I'm not just saying that, it's Billie Reise. There she is. Billie is the Vice President of Administration for Incentive Concepts, and she's been with Incentive Concepts for 13 years, only 13 years. And she served as our champion for our team-centered approach, our culture, and our family-oriented atmosphere, which I just love. So we're going to explore a little bit about our culture, our service values, our employee promise, our steps of service, and more. And then we're going to get into ways that we kind of practice what we preach by using the power of incentives to motivate and engage our team members. So with that, Billie, welcome, and I'm so happy that you're here with me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to participate and hopefully add some value to our wonderful people that are tuning in today.
Well, with you here, it's improving it by 100%. So we're both in our basements right now. I'm in my basement, you're in your basement. Tell us a little bit about how this whole thing is going.
I'm good right now. Andy told me before we get started, really the logistics. He gave you some logistics. He also said to me like, hey, make sure that your team, your quarantine team is not streaming videos or playing Fortnite or what have you. So I have 2 kids and a puppy right now that are in the car reading, which I think is a good use of time. And my husband is taking his conference call right now on his cell phone. So I'm hoping that we have some good bandwidth right now.
Well, that's fantastic. So your kids and your dog are reading in the car? Is that what you said?
They're reading to the dog.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Because I was going to say that's going to be like the fanciest dog I've ever heard about if the dog can read, but you never know. Okay, let's dive into it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us about your family, growing up, maybe your past career, and maybe some of your hobbies and interests.
Okay, well, I graduated from the University of Missouri just a few years ago. And immediately out of college, I started at an advertising agency. And that was the first time I really ever experienced a company culture that would overpromise and then scramble to deliver. It was a really good fire drill, and it taught me a lot. However, it really wasn't a good career fit for me. And so I went to next a nonprofit, and I really learned what it was like to write grants and raise money for a cause that I truly believed in. And I worked at a nonprofit for about 5 years before one of my friends, and I'm sure a few of the people that are watching right now, they know him as well, Brian Revolta, told me about this corporate gifting company. And it took me about 4 years to really understand what Incentive Concepts did, because there's so many layers of the business. And 13 years ago, I signed on as the head of marketing, and really that's where the fun started. I left the nonprofit world to go to a world that really motivated and rewarded people that did above and beyond service or work for the company that they worked for. And it was intriguing, and constantly, it was just very interesting to me to see what this industry was all about. And the twists and turns through the years were always very interesting, because the company that I joined, Incentive Concepts, and the industry I joined 13 years ago has changed drastically. Each year, something different really changes what this industry does. And it's intriguing to see what the leaders within the industry do to respond and to proactively dictate the terms of the incentive industry. So 13 years ago, I joined Incentive Concepts, and about 5 years ago, I switched hats within the organization and I became the Vice President of Administration. About me personally, I've been married for 18 years. I have an awesome freshman and a fourth grader. They're actively e-learning right now. And we took the puppy plunge the other, I'd say like, wow, it's been a month already. We took the puppy plunge, and we have a soon to be 3-month-old Cavapoo that likes to wake up early, but he's really brought a lot of excitement and joy to our family. So that's fun.
Well, so we got to know the puppy's name.
Benji. Benjamin
Okay.
Scott is his official name, but we call him Benji for short. And he's a hoot, let me tell you. But you also asked about hobbies, and I think hobbies are one thing at Incentive Concepts that we really try to do as an organization is to get to know our employees. And so hobbies and home life, that's a very important element of knowing and respecting and getting to know our workforce. And so from a hobby stance for me, I really value family time. I think my coworkers they do quite often hear about the fun things that we do as a family, but I also enjoy to run. I really enjoy watching soccer, and I'm learning to golf right now, which is kind of scary.
Well, I'm sure you'll do fine. A little off script, but you talked about running. How important right now with what's going on in the world is exercising? Just, I'm going to go off topic here, if that's okay.
No, I love it. So we do a Get Fit challenge at Incentive Concepts. And so we encourage our team members to do 15 check marks or workouts that total 30 minutes or more. And I personally use running or exercise as a sense of therapy for me. It just allows me to get everything right in the world again. So I just think that mental health and exercising and staying fit allows you to really do great things and be accountable. I know our Get Fit challenge for a couple of our team members, it really holds them accountable, and they enjoy telling me that they've gotten quite a few check marks each month. So I think it's important.
Fantastic. So that's great. So you've been with Incentive Concepts for 13 years. Incentive Concepts is members of a couple of different organizations out there, associations, trade, industry organizations. Can you talk about any of those? And I know you're involved in at least one of them.
Yeah, I am serving on my second term of the Incentive Marketing Association, the IMA Board of Directors, and I am the chair of the Corporate Outreach Committee. And this is really our ability to see where the industry is going and our chance to actually give our input of what we feel is the most important and where what the industry should concentrate on. So I enjoy my role on the IMA board and learning from others. The gift card contributors are just constantly teaching us new things, not to mention travel and IMA Europe. So it's really exciting to see the big picture of how corporate incentives can truly motivate and change the workforce.
That's great. That's great. So talk a little bit about the service values, the employee promise, and the steps of service that were implemented at Incentive Concepts in the past, maybe 2 years or so.
Yeah, so we had some blank walls. I mean, I'm just going to be as candid as I can. I want this to be a real live, helpful conversation, hopefully one way or two way, what have you. So Joe Reinberg is constantly challenging us to bigger, better, and to what can we do next to better serve not just our customers but our employees, and so we dissected different service values and an employee promise, and and just who we want to be when we grow up, so to speak, talk. And we came up with some service values that we felt that, some of them we were achieving, others, they were a little aspirational, so to speak. But if we put them down and we actually spoke about them often, then we will be closer to achieving that gold level of standard and those type of great things. So our service values are really, it's rails for our employees and for leadership to really look at and guide us to where we want to be, where we want to stay, what we want to continue to focus on. And we use those service values as a daily conversation in our morning meetings, which we have by department. And they're in our large boardroom. So we have a town hall meeting, and we're very transparent with our team of our goals and where we're at in meeting those goals. And so those service values, actually, Katie and you came up with some of the most beautiful graphics that allow us to have that language throughout the Incentive Concepts office.
Well, thanks. We enjoyed creating that for sure. And just for those of you just tuning in right now, I'm going to kind of reintroduce everybody in case you just tuned in. So I'm Andy Hudson. I'm Director of Marketing, and we've got Billie Reise on here today, who's our VP of Administration, and she's talking about the culture of our company, of our organization, the real family atmosphere that we created Incentive Concepts, and what it's like to be part of the Incentive Concepts team. When I started there about 3 years ago, I guess it's been a little over 3 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun, and I'm not just saying.
Yeah.
But when I started there, it was challenging. Like you said, it's hard to understand the industry when you're coming from somewhere else. And I came from nonprofit myself, which you and I have that in common, which is nice to talk about. But talk about the challenges that new team members have, and maybe some advice that you might give to other companies about bringing in new team members and how to make them feel really a part of the family.
Wow. So our employees, the span of age, like our age span, there's a 50-year gap. We have people in their 20s, and we have people that are hitting in the 70-year, zone, so to speak. And male, female, all different walks of life, and to really engage and motivate and do stuff that speaks to each and every employee. It's important to get to know each of the employees. And I hope that you feel that during your interview process. I did this, I try in every single person's interview at Incentive Concepts is simply to say, like, this is our culture. We've been around for 35 years. We've got the crazy uncle, we've got the sweet aunt, we've got the person that's going to stop what they're doing to make sure that you're having a good day. And that's what we want to attract. We want to attract the employee that is going to become a family member, that's going to want to do much more than just tread water or collect a paycheck. We want somebody that wants to be motivated and that wants to care about their colleagues and that actually wants to see what the goals are within the organization, and then be a part of the solution and to really work towards doing great things, not just doing mediocre work.
Yeah. And I can say, and I can't speak for everybody, but I think this is true for all of our team members, is we really value that transparency that has become part of our, daily, weekly, and monthly routine, because it really empowers us to want to do better and to do more. And I think that's so important today when we're looking at employees, especially in today's world where we really want to hang on to the best talent and reward those people. So I tell you what, let's kind of shift gears a little bit if it's okay, because we collected some photos of some of our events. So I'm going to share my screen, and if this works like it should, which it should, we're going to bring up some photos, and maybe you and I together can talk about some of these fun photos that we're sharing here. So hold on, let me share my screen here for 1 second and see what we got.
Awesome. While you're doing that, Andy, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the growth within our organization. And oh, that's an awesome picture. And
Yeah.
in 2018, Incentive Concepts grew by 30%. We acquired a wonderful company called Elite Creations, and we were able to work with some existing talent that was just absolutely amazing. But they had a different culture than ours. They were a family-owned company. They did business in such a great way, but we really needed to make sure that family was welcomed into ours. And we created a buddy system. You asked me, you know, what's some advice for other companies? We created a buddy system internally with this acquisition, and we said, hey, Shay and Debbie, you guys have worked for Incentive Concepts, and you guys are leaders within our organization. We want you to be buddies with the new team members from the company that we just acquired. And so it wasn't just one person that they went to all the time. They could go and say, hey, Shay, you know, what is this expense report that I heard about? Or what is this town hall? You know, they could ask the basic questions and they would have an internal alliance immediately. And we found quickly that the existing team members were able to connect with one of the new team members that from the acquired company, and there was an immediate bond. And that's what it's about. It's relationship building. This picture is awesome. So do you want to take the reins on this one?
Well, you mentioned Debbie and Shay. So this is Debbie and Shay from left to right, and two of our great, fantastic, and fun team members. Talk about how important birthdays, especially milestone birthdays, are. Maybe there's some other ones here. Let's see what our next one. Oh, I
love it. So Slash, also known as you, Andy, your hair was on point that day, but Katie was celebrating. So we do a celebration for special birthdays. So, you know, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And so we theme the actual birthday party according to that person's personality. And Katie is one of the most talented people I've ever met. She's in charge of all of the amazing graphics you see from Incentive Concepts. And you see this wonderful Slash. She's a rocker. So we had a rock star birthday party for our rock star Katie, and including a solo by you, Andy.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was probably one of the highlights of my life, I have to admit, because I haven't had hair I've never had hair like that. And if you can't tell already, I haven't had any hair in probably about 10 years. So let's see.
Your quarantine haircut?
Yeah, quarantine haircut. Talk about some of these next few pictures, because talk about what you do kind of for the monthly or bi-monthly birthday celebrations.
Awesome. So the people in this picture, we have Deanne and Regina and Steve, Donna, Shelby, Mary, Pat, Justin, and Joe. And this is a celebration at the Shack, and we do birthday celebrations. So it's lunch with the president outside of the office. So we pick a place and we get out of our comfort zone, so to speak, and we go break bread. We go have some fun, eat lunch, and talk and celebrate the team members for their birthday, and really talk about business. It's weird. We talk about business like not talking about business, so to speak. We hear, hey, what's your challenge today? And then usually the conversation goes like, what kind of food do you like, and what type of charity are you involved with? So the Shack's one of our favorites. So this is another group. Maybe it's because I really like it, or somebody else. I don't know. But this is another example. And there's Mike and Carly. There's you, Andy, Mike, and then Yasser. And this is another example of us going out and really enjoying a birthday luncheon. Those are some great pictures, Andy. Thanks for sharing this.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Let's look at the next group of photos, and then we'll get back to one of our topics if you don't mind. So
I love this.
Oh wow, something amazing happened starting around this time last year here in St. Louis. For those of you that are tuning in from outside of St. Louis, it's important to know how passionate we are here about our sports team. So talk about the Stanley Cup run for our St. Louis Blues last year.
Man, you see St. Louis, obviously. Do we win it 2 years? I don't even know what the rules are 2 years in a row, but it's fun to see that not everything is company driven. Some is team member driven. So you see there's cakes that show up. There's a banner that banner, it was a team member's idea, like, let's just collect money as the team of Incentive Concepts. And then these little cones that you can see in everybody's hand, it's like this special ice cream cone, Stanley Cup dessert. And so we've got a really talented group of chefs, so to speak, on staff. And we needed a Let's Go Blues banner. And so we continue to hang that from time to time. And that was just a really fun time of the Incentive Concept in our lives. And the picture of the plants, we back up one real quick.
Oh yeah,
so
of course.
We have a couple of people, so like Eric and Michelle, like they make our plants look amazing out front. We thought, how fun would it be to have something to welcome employees, and it's the red and white Incentive Concept colors, also known as the St. Louis Cardinal colors, and we're supporting the St. Louis Blues there. So that's a fun picture.
Well, and I have to tell you, this was that last picture we looked at was the morning after the Blues won. And I was actually concerned that nobody would show up to work. But we all did.
It should have been a holiday.
Yeah, I took that picture, so I can guarantee you I was at work that day, Billie.
That's awesome.
So let's dive back into some of the topics that we were talking about. We were talking about the culture. We were talking about new employees. What are there any recent examples of an Incentive Concepts team member really going above and beyond that you'd like to share with the viewers?
How long do we have? I really could list every single employee and give you an example, or family members, what I like to call our team, an example of something they've done. I'm going to start with you, Andy, actually, something that you did recently with Aaron. You and Aaron, with the idea, one of our service values and part of our employee promise is to encourage our team to constantly push yourself, grow, learn, get outside of the walls and learn something new that can add value to you personally and to our organization. And you recently learned more about LinkedIn and how you can apply your personal LinkedIn page and help our business. And Aaron learned from a sales stance ways LinkedIn can help you in sales. And instead of you guys keeping that information to yourselves, you quickly turned it into a Zoom meeting for all of our team and said, here's ways that you can look better on LinkedIn, and links that you can put so people can find Incentive Concepts easier if they need corporate gifts, if they need incentives, if they want to learn about our B2B business, if they want to learn about the special, logoing business. So quickly, you were able to use information that you learned and you shared it with the rest of us. So that's going above and beyond. Another rep link.
Thank you, by the way. You didn't.
You're welcome.
I wasn't teeing you up for that. I don't like people talking about me. I like people looking at pictures of me, as you may know. But give us another example.
I think that the day that Shay, we saw a picture of her a little earlier, found out that we did not have an award that she wanted from RepLink. And she quickly decided that she wanted that award. She did whatever it took to make sure she got the information she needed. And she just worked tirelessly, and she didn't do it herself. She then sought out from other team members like, hey, I need this information to get this award. And then it became kind of a snowball effect where everybody's like, oh, we need this award. We've got to do it. We've got to get it. And we leaned on our partners to give us information that they didn't really, it was a struggle to get at times. But everybody teamed up and we got that award from RepLink, and it's the need to win. Other examples, if it snows at Incentive Concepts, our warehouse team and quite often Mike Reinberg is outside making sure that our cars are, cleared of snow when it's time to go home. And it's little things like that make and allow us to be a better organization, because that you're not in it alone. That you can ask your team members for help. You can say, hey, I'm super busy. I know there's been examples. There's a couple team members, Lee and Aaron, they have trucks. And I know this because FedEx and UPS, we've asked them to help us get stuff to their facilities and to other carriers, because we had an event that needed something special. And I think Lauren and Kate and Lee and Brian, the events team, if they need something special done, it's cool because they don't feel like they're alone. They come in and say, hey, I need help. I really want to do this for the customer. And there's so many examples of ways that our team has done that for each other. But it's even more beautiful, in my opinion, when I see them do it for a customer and nobody thinks twice about helping. They stop what they're doing, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to take care of our customers. So those are a couple of my examples.
Those are great examples. And you know, they always say that you have to have a friend that has a truck.
Yeah.
But the best thing, if you have a friend with a truck, they're always going to be your friend, because you never know when you're going to need a truck, right? So Lee, Aaron, we love your trucks.
Don't get rid of your trucks.
Yeah, exactly. So we talked about the Blues.
Yeah.
We can't talk about our other, we can't leave out, I should say, our other favorite team in St. Louis. So let's go back to the photos here, and maybe we can talk about one of our annual traditions that got postponed this year, unfortunately, but talk a little bit about this photo and maybe the next few.
Oh man, so for the past few years, we've got a lot of sports fans, to your point, at Incentive Concepts. And a fun fact, the red and the Incentive Concepts logo is the same red in the St. Louis Cardinals. And in this picture, you see a couple of our fun family members. We close office a half day once a year. We jump on a bus and we go down to the Cardinals game and we root them on. And we actually reached out to one of our partners last year. Oh, that's a cool shot. Costa Sunglasses, and we said, hey, we're doing this, any wild chance you have a red and blue hat? And they donated some cool, Mike Reinberg has it on in this picture, and one of our board members as well, Jack, has it on, and there's Jolie, it's Brian and Joe, and we gave Costa hats. We surprised everybody with a Costa hat before the Cardinal game, which was super cool.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah, you probably didn't know I was going to put that in there, but that's is that a rose between two thorns, or the other way around?
No, that's a very tall girl in between. Yeah, that's Joe and Mike, and we have a lot of fun, and it's we get to know each other and as a company, and we get to know what people get excited about, and St. Louis Cardinals and St. Louis Blues continue to give us something to want. Oh, that's a fun picture too. It's something to celebrate. And here's an example. We like to have potlucks and different with a competitive twist. And so Dan in the middle is the most amazing chili maker on earth, if that's a title. What was the official title? What do we call him? Do you remember, Andy?
It was the Golden Ladle Award, but I can't remember if he had a special title, but he won the Golden Ladle Award, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's solid gold.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it might have been spray paint, but who knows? That's a cool shot. And Andy, what kind of chili did you make for the chili?
Well, I have to admit, I kind of went off script. I did an authentic New Mexican green chili stew. People were kind of giving me grief because there was potatoes in it, and they said that's not official. So next year there won't be any potatoes in it, I promise.
Awesome. But yeah, it's having a little bit of fun. Oh, I love that. Gina and Jennifer. Was that the hot cocoa and cookie day?
Yeah. I'm gonna fire through a few more, and then we can.
Perfect.
The egg boxing tournament, which by the way has become a tradition at the Hudson House, thanks to whoever I can't remember who introduced that. Maybe it was
Regina. Regina makes all the eggs. There's Connie taking the golden egg.
Yeah. And then of course the golf tournament that we do in the name of the memorial tournament. Joe's and Mike's dad, Jeff Reinberg, who's an important part of our company.
Absolutely. There's Vinnie Mac and Lee, and here we have Christy and Michelle and Shay at the golf tournament. That was in September, and Kurt and Justin. It was a super hot day, but it was great to see so many golfers.
Those look like two bouncers there, I think.
But I think this was the hole-in-one that was sponsored by Lou Fuse, and you could win a really nice Jeep.
Well, yeah, and if you cheated there, you knew you were in trouble. So,
right.
All right, so. We'll get back to some more photos in a minute, but let's see. We talked about culture. We talked about the teamwork. Talk a little bit more about some of the things that we do as a company that are really setting us as an example of practicing what we preach, as far as incentive gifts or recognizing and rewarding our teammates. And then I might be able to show some photos examples as well.
Okay, great. It's really, corporate gifts and incentives are about motivating and rewarding, great behavior, and really for those that go above and beyond. And it's wonderful at Incentive Concepts. We have the opportunity, our team members give us the opportunity to reward them quite often, whether it be going above and beyond for a customer in different situations, or simply, delivering the gold standard of service. And so we have the most sought after gifts, in my opinion, like some great items that people really want. And I talked about that 50-year span of employees. Like, it's cool to try to figure out what is that gift that will make somebody excited. And if you have a picture, do you have any pictures? We asked them to send, hey, what have you enjoyed over the years that you've gotten from Incentive Concepts? Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah, there's.
Oh, Cookie.
Yeah, we can go through these ones. I think Cookie was, that's Aaron Cook. I think he was making beef jerky there or something.
That looks like a keg from Broil King. So Jason Radford, I believe he did a live event with you last week. Yeah. And he is the best of the best at what he does. He's really, I was really nervous to go after him, to be honest with you. But this is an example of, I like your next. This is an example of one of our sales team members that actually uses a product that he sells. And so Aaron, I could be wrong, but I think Aaron might have won this in a sales contest. And it, I think, helps our team members, if you use it, to really speak about it. And so hopefully his family's enjoying some good barbecue these days. What's this picture of you playing darts?
Well, we have a dartboard courtesy of one of our brand partners in the basement. It's been getting a lot more use recently with this whole stay-at-home thing, I have to say. But that's about as close as I can get to a bullseye. I'm not very good.
That's okay. So Gloria from Escalade Sports is honestly so much fun to work with, and there's more than one dartboard in our makeup, correct? Do we have quite a few on RepLink right now?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How would you search on our website? You're pretty involved in the website, Andy. How do you search for the different products on our website?
Well, there's the main way is to just go into products and type in keywords. So dartboards. Okay. There's also a link where you can search by price. You can search by brand. If you know that you want to get something branded, you can go in there and search for that. So I'd search dartboards for this, obviously, or maybe indoor games or outdoor games or something like that. But I'm not very good at darts, but we enjoy playing.
That's awesome.
These next two pictures, I have to say, might be two of the top ones. What about this one here?
Looking at this one, I see Carly, she doesn't take a challenge lightly. So Carly, who is our chief biscotti maker on staff, she makes the most amazing biscotti on earth. The request was, hey, if you have a picture of you enjoying any of the incentive gifts that you've received over the years, can you shoot it over? And here's Carly. She doesn't have one incentive gift, but she tries to see how many she can get in the picture, which I think is awesome. So Bo's chair, so Bo's an Incentive Concepts chair. And I think that's a SoundLink color. It's definitely a tumbler. And am I correct? Are those Bo's frames that she has on that she's listening to music with?
Maybe. I think it's a Bose micro speaker that's attached. But yeah, yeah, that's great. But I think the next picture might be the best one we have here. So let's just, because something happened soon after this photo.
Hey!
Have you seen this yet?
I heard she caught quite a big fish, and it's no joke. Yeah. If you have the right corporate incentive gifts over the years, you're a winner.
That's right. So
over again.
She said, I think she said that's the biggest fish she's ever caught, and I would imagine so. It looks like, I don't know, 14, 16 inch or something like that.
It's huge. That's awesome. Yeah. Go Carly. I love the smile.
Yeah.
There's Debbie. I love it. So Debbie is the first person you see when you come to Incentive Concepts, and she's been on our team for a very long time. Has a wealth of knowledge, and this is a great picture. We do quite a few. Oh, cool. That's probably some holiday gifts over the years that her and Jimmy have enjoyed over the years. So that's great. Oh, I'm glad you included this picture. This is our incentive store. So from time to time, there's, you can see the snowflakes from the holidays too, but from time to time we do a chance to get something out of the incentive store. And I could be wrong about this one, but I do believe it was somebody won from the Get Fit Challenge, the incentive store item, but they gifted, I believe it was Tom. They said, you know what, can you please have Donna pick the item? And it might not have been this exact time, but quite a few times I've seen the generosity of our team really show up, and it's been pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome. Jennifer and two of the most adorable dogs you could dream of seeing. Are those Costa sunglasses?
Yeah, I believe they are. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then those chairs again, and somebody enjoying a fire pit. That's Michelle's husband, I believe.
That's
happens
awesome.
to be our neighbors.
It is. So we at Incentive Concepts, our holiday parties, and so we really want to thank the family members of our team as well, like the people that they go home to at night, their husbands and wives and boyfriends and kids, to support in our quest to really deliver the best better. Our team works late nights sometimes, or early mornings, or trade shows. We've got a team that travels extensively to make sure that we're taking care of our customers, and we are extremely thankful for the behind the scenes team that takes care of things while our team members are taking care of our customers. And here's a great example of Regina and crew at the Lake of the Ozarks. And I think I just saw a New Balance sweatshirt, which we do New Balance event experiences. So that's cool. That's really cool. All right, we have some noise canceling headphones. That's great, of a team member's loved one. I love seeing and the king of all kings. That's awesome. So you asked earlier, somebody that goes above and beyond, and everybody knows Shelby Anderson. And Shelby, I think he's this umbrella is been around for the 35 years that we've been giving corporate gifts out from a company stance. But Shelby internally is the go-to. He's the, I believe it was said eloquently, he's the central nervous system of the organization. And he really makes Incentive Concepts what it is by working tirelessly to deliver the best better. And I feel so fortunate to get to work with the most talented and motivated team on earth that, takes their time, whether it be during the normal work week or not, to really figure out a way to do above and beyond and to deliver above and beyond for our customers. Corporate gifts and incentives and event experiences and onboarding gifts that we're able to provide for our customers are so important, and become even more important to show employees that they're valued and they're cared and cared about. And we are very fortunate to have the best of the best working at Incentive Concepts, and I personally thank all of them for what they're doing.
Yeah, well, thanks. We were hoping to kind of keep this at 30 minutes, but we kind of just, I like talking to you. I happen to enjoy talking to you. So, as many people do. So let's, no, let's wrap it. So I'm just going to ask you one last question, and just a real quick answer. If you could give a piece of advice to somebody in a small business, what's the one piece of advice you could about just really recognizing your teammates?
My one advice, my advice to anybody that wears an HR hat is to get to know your team members, motivate them, reward them, value their opinion, and challenge them to do bigger and better things that they don't even know that they're capable of doing, because they'll surprise you.
Great. Well, thank you so very much, Billie. We appreciate you coming on. It's been great having you. That concludes our live broadcast for today, but I want to thank Billie one more time for joining us. We're going to do this every week, folks. So next week we have a very special broadcast. It's at the same time on Thursday at 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern. And our next episode is featuring Sean Mackey and Brian Surrett from Bose. I don't even know if you knew that yet, Billie.
I didn't. That's
great. And so they're going to be joining us, and they're going to talk about how to help employees turn any space into the perfect place to listen to music, make phone calls, or get work done. Okay.
That's awesome.
Especially,
Can't wait.
yeah, especially with today's world, that's important. So next Thursday, which is April 30th, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, incentiveconcepts.com/live. We hope you can all join us. Thanks again to Billie. Take care, everybody, and keep things positive. See you later, Billie.
Thanks, Andy. Bye.